the Spirit Sessions podcast. I'm your guide, Katie Silcox, bringing you your weekly self-love soundbite. Join us, where I'll help you find your true spiritual home, where every single aspect of you is holy ground, holy ground, holy ground, holy ground.
This is a Spirit Session podcast with Katie Silcox. Venga chicos, empezamos.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hi everyone, Katie here. This podcast is intended to inspire you, educate you, and most importantly, support you on your journey towards knowing who you really are, that inner self, that inner teacher. I am not a psychologist or a medical doctor and do not offer professional health or medical advice on this podcast. If you are suffering from any kind of psychological or medical issue, please do the right thing and seek help from your qualified health professional. Hi everybody, it's your Ayurveda Gal Friday coming to you with a special podcast. We are talking about something that might seem unrelated, but I think it's super related. I want to talk about 3 seemingly unrelated things that I think are really topical for the time that we find ourselves in. And one of the things that Ayurveda asks us to do is to address the field in which our imbalances are born. In other words, we address the time, the place, and the culture that we find ourselves in this moment. And one of the big fears in the world today, amongst many people, is the fear of artificial intelligence. And what some of you may not know is that before Ayurveda intelligence, yours truly, Katie Silcox, worked in artificial intelligence. And I worked in AI back before really it was popular or anyone had heard of it at all. I certainly had not until I started a job in the south of Spain in a think tank where we were teaching the computers how to read human linguistic data. And I was given the nickname of the sacrificial virgin because I didn't really know anything at all about computers or algorithms or prediction models or anything that I would later become involved in. And they hired me as sort of a anthropological researcher of sorts. And also they hired me because most of the programmers were what we would now kind of call like Asperger's types guys. You know, they were all men. And they needed me to come in and help them understand how we could convey to the AI models human emotion. And so I was, I think, very fortunate to learn all about AI long, long ago in the early 2000s. And I kind of had to come to Jesus and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this forever. And so but I learned a lot, and I learned a lot about Buddhist philosophy, yoga. Yeah, I had kind of some intellectual mentors in that organization that I'm very grateful for. But I realized I don't want to do this, and there was something like uneasy and unsettling about what these guys were trying to do, which in the end ended up being a prediction model on the stock market that relied 100% on emotional linguistic tokens. So I'm just letting you know that before I got into Ayurveda intelligence, I was interested in many things artificial intelligence, and I still am fascinated by it and have kind of done my best to kind of stay up to date and aware of this technology. And I think, you know, my opinion on it is that it's like any energy in the universe. It's like any medicine. It's like any food. It's like any emotion. It's like any relationship. It's like anything. It's like sex. It's like everything. It can be a medicine and it can be a poison. And that depends on the amount, it depends on the quality, and it depends on the intention that it's used for. And so, like the internet, like social media, we have to be very careful with our power. Here are some reasons why I do not think that AI will take over the world or replace human ingenuity or creativity completely. I want to caveat that by saying I think that there is definitely the potential for it to be very bad. Just like we're seeing the negative effects of social media on culture, on young people, especially on our minds. AI is like social media on crack. It's not even in that universe. So I do think that the concerns are super valid around wanting to go slow and be super careful with it. From a survival standpoint, I think we do need to be careful. From the standpoint that we need to worry that AI is going to take over for the perspective of human capacity, ingenuity, and creativity, I think that this comes from a limited mindset and a limited worldview and a limited perceptual apparatus for how we are perceiving reality. I'm going to explain that through what our ancestors understood about how we perceive and receive reality as human bodies. We are not a mental body. AI is one aspect of the mental body. Human beings have multiple bodies. When I say body, I don't mean physical bodies. Let me say it a different way. Human beings have multiple ways of perceiving and expressing and receiving reality and information. AI cannot feel in a somatic way. This is the first chakra that the yogis talked about. This is the Anandamaya Kosha that the yogis talked about. What am I saying in Sanskrit? I'm saying you have a physical body that has been formed out of your mother's body and kept alive through food, through other physical bodies. AI doesn't have that. You also have an emotional body that feels things through the combined effect of your physical body, your energy, and your mind. Your emotions are a conglomeration of memories meeting feeling sensations. AI can't have that. So just from there, we perceive reality through our physical senses, just like an animal. Our neurons are picking up on thousands of signals every millisecond that tells your system to go into parasympathetic or sympathetic activation in your nerves. The amount of information that we receive through our viscera, through our physicality, informs our intelligence. AI can't have that. So just there, physical and emotionally, that is not a part of the story. And that is a huge part of what makes humans so interesting and irreplaceable. Then you have a mental body. And this is where AI is really, really amazing. We've essentially taken the collective output of the collective mental body and put it onto the zeros and ones of the World Wide Web called the internet. And that's what AI has been trained on. The AI is simply a conglomeration of everything that's been written and said on the internet. So take that in for a second. It's both mind-blowingly amazing and useful and also appalling and disgusting and terrifying. Because what we know is that people who spend the most time on the internet writing things, especially on social media or on chat groups, are the most dysregulated in their first two chakras. In other words, their physical body and their emotional body and their mental body. So the AI has been trained on the most on some of the most dysregulated human beings. And the sum total compendium of really cool stuff. Like, even Wikipedia is the opinions of people. So it's also been trained on a lot of just hard science and books, and that's all really great, right? Medical books, law books. It's not just, crazy people on Reddit. So the good news is that we have this amazing tool that is the collective mental body that can do things at speeds that a human mental body in that one sort of subset of its capacity cannot do. And that is that computational level. And that's where AI is going to definitely beat us and already does beat us and will continue to just beat us in terms of its speed. But that's not even the full mental body, by the way, because your mental body is also your subconscious. It's your memories, right? It's your impressions from your entire life. And in the yogic system, it's lifetimes of memories. It's imagination. It's dreams. It's impressions. It's meaning making. And so AI can emulate that. But so we've already gone through what it's not. It's not the physical body. It's not the emotional body. It's not even the sum total of the mental body. It's a subset of the mental body that, yes, is probably much faster than the human mental body. What else is it not? And this is the most important thing. The AI is not the heart. And the heart is the most powerful place in the human being. The AI is not the heart. It never will be the heart. Because the heart is the meeting place of all the first three things I mentioned and your soul. And this is where one might say, oh, but now you're being spiritual. And the answer is yes, because I'm a spiritual being. And the AI is not. And the soul is the place from which all creativity comes from, especially good creativity, right? And we have that in our language. We say, man, that has soul, right? And we can feel it and we're attracted to it. I heard an AI song last week. I'll put the link in the show notes for you. It's super good. I'm not going to lie. It's a soul version of Vanilla Ice Ice Baby, which when I was growing up, my grandfather gave me my first car, and it was a big old maybe 79, 1985, something kind of old, white Cadillac. And it would have been cool now, but at the time it was definitely not cool. And it was old and like the roof was sagging and it was huge and it had one of those bucket seats in the front and the back. And I could barely drive it because it was so big and I would just roll over curbs and run into things. But it had a tape player. And I'm old enough, some of you were too, to remember, you young ladies listening or young gentlemen, a tape player is what cars used to come with. And we would make each other mixtapes and you could record your songs. And Rob Crawford, if you're out there listening, was one of my best friends. And Rob Crawford, I think it was you, in high school, made me a mixtape. Or was it Rob Mangus? We'll let the Robs fight over it. But I doubt they'll want to fight over it, actually. One of you, the Robs, they were both very cute, made me a mixtape, and it was Vanilla Ice Ice Baby on one side, and on the other side it was MC Hammer's You Can't Touch This. So that tells you guys how old I am. And I put that in the Cadillac, and the tape got stuck, you guys. The Cadillac broke. The tape player broke. And Ice Ice Baby played over and over and over and over again. And it is the only thing that would play in the car. So if you got in my car, there was one song we could listen to, and we could listen to it on repeat. So to tell you that I know every word of the song, it's ingrained into my mental body. And I loved that song. And it's a great song. So the AI has taken that song and it's turned it into a soul version. And it is unbelievably good. Like, so good. And so you might say, but wait a minute, Katie, you said the AI can't have soul, but that's like the best soul song I've ever heard. I'm not saying it's the best soul song, but it's really good. What's up with that? But the thing is, the AI has been trained on human beings' soul music. The AI is not the soul. The human's the soul. The AI is just taking it and figuring out how to make it into the best version of that soul song possible, right? I will say just a technical aspect of music and AI is that AI can do things that the human can't around breathing and singing. And so it is kind of interesting to listen to because the singers never really have to take a breath. So they can do interesting things with their voices. But when I heard Ice Ice Baby AI soul version, my first thought was, wow, human beings are amazing. You feel me? The heart is the energy, the electromagnetic frequency that we emit when we are together. And it can vibrate love, and it can vibrate hate, and it can vibrate fear and sadness, and it can vibrate compassion. And when you're vibrating gratitude and love and compassion, that frequency, science is now proving, moves out 40 feet in front of you. The AI cannot transmit the 40-foot vibrations of the heart. Never, ever, ever. And it's that heart frequency that makes us like each other, that makes us feel connected and seen and not lonely and understood and wanted and alive, and that our life has meaning and purpose. It's the electromagnetic frequency of the heart meeting another heart. Okay? Yeah, AI is never going to replace that. And then you have these upper chakras, which are the layers of your astral body and your causal body and your spiritual body that's transcendent. And it's our energy body, our pranamaya kosha. The AI can never have that energy, that biomagnetic electrical force field that comes from the earth and the sky. That is the highest form of intelligence. And at least in this tradition, we believe that when you die, that spirit goes on somewhere else. And that's also not a part of the AI. So I want to talk today about the koshas. This is a tantric word that means layers or sheaths or bodies. And it describes the layers of the human's existence from the physical to the most subtle. It's kind of like a map of our consciousness as well. And it shows us how our spirit, like pure awareness, expresses itself in our physicality and in our energy and in our mind and even in our individual souls. And the human being in the old school Upanishadic way of thinking, the human being is seen as like, have you guys seen those like Russian nested dolls? My boyfriend, I was talking about the koshas to him today, and he was like, I was like, oh, these 7 layers of the chakras and the 5 layers of the koshas. He was like, it's like a burrito. And I was like, yeah, exactly. It's like a burrito. You've got the Russian nested dolls. The human being is seen as being nested in these like sheaths that kind of surround the true self or the soul. And the koshas are not just like layers to transcend. They are like portals of embodiment, and each one expresses a very sacred expression of your spirit, your divine energy, or we call it Shakti, which is why I called this the Shakti school. And so you've got the Annamaya kosha, which is your physical body. As I said, it's made up of like the food you eat, the bones, muscles, fat, tissue, organs, and we kind of work to do our best to keep this as pure as possible through diet, movement, rest, herbs, loving embodiment, all that kind of stuff. And that layer is not only a part of being a human, it's a way of perceiving reality. We perceive through the physical body. Then you have this thing called the pranamaya kosha, which is your energy body. Prana is like life force, breath, spirit, the flow of vitality, circulation. It's the energy that lights up everything else. And you can purify it by like doing pranayama and energy work, which is what we do a lot of in the Shakti school. And it's seen as what the ancients call the Atma Puri. It's like a gateway between the body and the mind. So that's not the AI. And it's a field through which we perceive reality. And then, as I mentioned before, you have a mental body, thoughts, emotions, sensory input, your conditioning, your reactivity. Ooh, I've got a lot of that. Raise your hand if you do. And then it's like the rasa, or like the emotional flavor of our mind, is shaped by our experiences in the past and the quality of our thoughts in the present. Isn't that crazy? And then you have this thing called the Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is the wisdom body, the intuition, the insight, the higher knowledge. You've got a body of that. It's not intellect. It's intuition. It's knowing. It's your conscience. And if you are religious, you could think of it as like the voice of God, right? Like you're going to do what it says. And we believe that God voice can be heard inside of you if you have a relationship to it. You can think of it kind of as like the seat of your own inner guru or your own inner guide. And what that helps us do is to wake up from I don't want to say lie, but it is, the misperception. That's a better word. The misperception that our thoughts are true and that they are who we are, rather than seeing them as things that we, the real us, get caught inside of. And trust me, they're really convincing. I get it. And so Ayurveda says the higher function of the buddhi, meaning the higher function of the intellect, is the Vijnanamaya Kosha. What does that mean? It means you have a higher function of your intellect that's beyond your mental body that brings you clarity, discernment, intuition, and alignment with your soul or your spirit's truth. Another way of seeing this, if it helps for those of you that like have a religious association, this is when you are in alignment with God. Thy will be done, not my will be done. Thy will be done. AI will never be able to do this. Never. Never. AI at best is like a Carl Jung fever dream where we get an insight, a snapshot into the collective unconscious or conscious, right? It's a snapshot of the mental body of the collective en masse. Then the last kosha is called your Anandamaya kosha, and this is your bliss body. Ananda means bliss. It doesn't mean happy, yay, this feels good. Bliss means deep peace, santosha, contentment, peace that passes all understanding. This is synonymous with your God body. That feeling when you are in church or whatever you do to get you into that place. For some people, it's like singing, praise, meditation can do it for sure. Deep relaxation, opening, where thy will be done has become so entrenched that you are now in a peace that passes all understanding. You're in union with spirit. That is possible to do that with a lot of practice and prayer. And it's like a natural joy that comes. And for me, I've experienced it actually a lot in moments of like the darkest night of the soul, where you finally give up. That's a part of our being, and it's something that a computer, no matter how big they make those data centers, will never, ever be able to do. And it's not me throwing off on AI. I feel that we are living in a time of witnessing the most incredible external technological advancement of our time. I think it's bigger than the internet. But it's an extrapolation and in some way an outsourcing of the mental body. And it's just one of your layers. And I think the more we do that, the more valuable the body and embodiment becomes. The more AI is a part of our life, the more it's going to be so valuable to be in groups of people together doing things that open up our hearts, like singing and praying and sitting around a fire pit and meditating and just having a regular ass conversation with your friend and touching grass and, walking your dog and taking a hike and being out in the trees. The more AI develops, which I think it will, and I think it's incredible, and I hope and I pray and I deeply pray that we can call in the highest aspects of artificial intelligence to serve us. The things that it is already able to do and will be able to do around helping medical care, and I mean, just that one thing alone is so amazing and promising. I think there's a huge sunshine ray of light that this thing is going to bring to our world, and it has equal and opposite possibilities to destroy, to harm as well. And so I think it's up to us, the humans, to put limits on it and decide the way that we're going to use this great sword of power. Will it destroy us or will it empower us? It depends on us. But what it will never be able to do is replace who we are. It will never be able to do that. Of that, I will stake the farm. And therefore, fear not. Fear not. You are irreplaceable because you are a child of God and you are a human being of the heart. I've spoken a lot lately about loss and grief and fear. And the way that I want to tie this together with where we're going is, first of all, Thursday, we're starting a series in Spirit Sessions of Shakti School, which is our membership plan that you can join. I think it's $28. I never know the price of it. It's very, 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 very affordable intentionally. I think it's $28 a month, which is bananas on a stick because it's literally my entire compendium of practice. So please be a part of it. Consider being a part of it. It's an amazing community. It attracts really cool, great people. But this Thursday, we're starting, and if you're hearing this on Friday, you can join now and you can watch it and get caught up and then join us live. So for the next few months, we're going to be going deep into the Koshas. I'm going to be sharing the practices of the way that we work with, heal, purify, and awaken each of these bodies within us, and especially helpful in working with fear. Fear tends to get stored in these bodies, and by working with them, we're able to see things more clearly and purify ourselves from this emotion. And so if you're listening and you have AI fear or any other fear, please come consider joining us where we go deep into all of these things. And the past 10 months, we've just finished an incredible 10-month experience where we went through the chakras, each one of them. And you can go back, and for just $28 a month, you can watch every single month's worth of the chakra practices, both understanding them with our mental body, but also, and more importantly, experiencing them through our energy body. And so, as someone who has gone from artificial intelligence to Ayurveda intelligence in her one human lifetime, I can hopefully be somewhat of a bridge between these two worlds. As you all know, we do one big thing every year, and that is Ayurveda school. It starts January. It is going to be the best year of Ayurveda school we've ever had. Every year we put on the best year of Ayurvedic education, in my opinion, in the world. We are the world's most well-known and beloved feminine form Ayurveda school, and we do things really differently at the Shakti school. We get so many people who've actually gone to other Ayurveda colleges and schools, and we love those schools. We lift those schools. Many of our teachers teach at some of the other schools, so we definitely do not believe that we're competing with anyone, because we actually get a lot of those students who go through their full Ayurvedic education and then choose to come back and study at Shakti school, because it's such a powerful and unique and different approach to Ayurveda. It's a deeply embodied somatic Ayurvedic education. It's also not only Ayurveda strictly in the Indian curriculum, which we primarily lean into, but it's also the acknowledgement of Ayurveda as a global worldview that is Sanatana Dharma, in other words, a universal way, a philosophical way of seeing reality that all of us as humans share, and that we can all kind of take comfort in as human beings living in nature. And so we open ourselves to and definitely embrace all the world's global wisdom traditions, especially those that are mostly related to the natural world. And so we've got just such a diverse teaching staff, such a diverse curriculum, and such a diverse group of women that join from all over the world, who are diverse in the sense of they're coming from different geographic backgrounds and maybe even cultural backgrounds, but not diverse in that the women that tend to come to our school are so ready to like love each other up and learn and get really smart and also open their heart. And so if that sounds like you and you want to be a part of a global movement and you want to really, really, really up level and shift your reality, I can promise you we will deliver. So check us out. Set up a call with one of my coaches. Not only are they super learned and know all about my program and are kind of extensions of my own heart, but these women are my friends. They were my students, all of them. And they're just women that I really love and respect. And these women and I meet every single month to do our own meditation together and just kind of be together, and really hold each other. And I would love for you to have a free call with one of my gals, with one of my coaches, and to just really see if our program's right for you. Every year we pray the same prayer. And that is, may the women that need to find us. But may the women that don't need to find us not, right? Like we're calling in the right group of people. And so if you're hearing this and your heart's feeling the pull, I just really encourage you to listen to that voice. And I'm just going to be upfront. I don't know how long we're going to do this live. Not this year, but next year will be our 10th anniversary. And we're going to blow it up, y'all. We're going to make sweatshirts. We're going to make tank tops. We're going to make crop tops, for God's sake. We're going to have a party. We're going to have a gathering, a grand gathering. It's our 10th anniversary in 2027. Next year's our 9th, and we're going to blow it up, and we're going to even have sweatshirts next year too. So don't worry. But I just mean something special is happening. And I want you to be a part of it. I don't want you to miss it. I don't know how long it'll be, but like all things, it won't be forever. So I hope you'll join, and I hope you can walk without fear. Let me say that in a better way. I hope we can all walk without any unnecessary fear. All right, beautiful friend, take care, and we'll see you on the next one. A big special thanks to Kevin Carlisle of Goodbye Gemini who wrote this beautiful podcast music, and to DJ Juan Pablo Jimenez in southern Spain for mixing it and making it magic.